Hey everyone, thanks for checking in on this special Tuesday morning edition of our online only videos. We call them Weather for Weather Geeks, but I suspect there are a lot of people who don't call themselves weather geeks who are tuned in today because today is our big snowstorm day. We have pretty quiet weather this morning. This is the current radar as I record this at about 8:45 a.m. And still some light snow falling. This is down in southeastern Columbiana County and closer to Pittsburgh. And there can still be some fresh coatings out of this down there, but not much going on elsewhere. A lot of us did pick up a coating of snow last night. Now down to the south, this is where our main storm is. Our area of low pressure is still over the northern Gulf of Mexico. It's going to take a ride north and east, right up the spine of the Appalachians, or just east of there today and into tonight. Out ahead of it, a cold rain, even some ice problems this morning in Virginia, down through western North Carolina, and the rain extends all the way down towards the Gulf Coast. All of this is coming north. Let's talk about the future radar. Take out all the current information, and we'll show you what the radar will look like as we go through time. Let's bring up our model manager, and we'll talk about the radar starting at, let's go to about sunset this evening, because this is when things are going to start to really fall pretty hot and heavy. We'll get some light snow this afternoon, but at 5 p.m. this evening, light to moderate, even heavy snow starting to push into the valley from the south. So this is the time of the day when if you can get home, do it, because you don't want to be traveling anytime after this evening. Because while the snow will be falling earlier in the afternoon, conditions won't go really downhill in most spots until about here, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock this evening. Here's 8 o'clock this evening, still some heavy snow around, indicated by the dark greens and yellows. Now, as we head towards the overnight, this is midnight. Notice that the snow is not quite as heavy at this point, and that trend will continue overnight. There'll be some snow around, and it will continue to stick, but it won't be quite as heavy as the evening overall. And tomorrow at daybreak, 7 a.m., at this point, there'll be some light snow around, but not as much as there will be this evening. And tomorrow, there can still be some snow at times. And I do think lake effect is going to try to set up tomorrow in our ongoing forecast of a general 5 to 10 inches by daybreak Wednesday. Still looks good, with most places being a little closer to the 10 than the 5. I think 5 is just about a guarantee throughout the viewing area. Most of us will be closer to 10 by daybreak on Wednesday. And then there can be some additional accumulations Wednesday, depending on where lake effect tries to set up. I think there can still be an additional couple to a few inches on top of what we've already seen on Wednesday in some lake effect bands. And that, as usual, will favor areas north of I-80, but it's too early to say exactly where that'll be on Wednesday at this point. So here's how the sequence will go with the weather map. This evening, our system pushing north. Here we are at 1 a.m. and then 7 a.m. on Wednesday. The area of low pressure right over Philadelphia to New York City. And busiest travel day of the year coming up on Wednesday. And the major hubs on the East Coast will not see snow. They'll see rain, but it'll be a wind-driven, ugly, horrible rain. And you can expect big-time airport delays on the East Coast because of rain, across our part of the country because of snow. We're talking Pittsburgh and Cleveland, of course, and even Detroit, Chicago. And there's going to be a cascading or a ripple effect because of all these delays at these major hubs that will ripple across the country. So even airports that are having sunny weather will probably have delays because of the backups that are occurring on Wednesday at these major hubs. So Wednesday's an ugly, ugly day to travel, unfortunately. Some good news, though, for Thanksgiving itself. Yeah, it's going to be cold and it's going to be pretty cloudy, but it's not going to do much on Thursday other than some flurries. Some, lake effect type flurries and snow showers. There's probably very little, if any, accumulation out of this on Thursday. And then Friday, if you're doing some shopping, it's going to be cold. We're talking lower teens Friday morning, and maybe there's a stray flurry Friday, but that will about do it. I mentioned our snowfall forecast looking pretty good at this point. Here's the NAM model accumulation forecast through 7 a.m. on Wednesday. Purple colors, that means more than 6 inches. And so a lot of us, or just about all of us, are firmly in that. So again, I think 5 is about a guarantee at this point. Before all is said and done, closer to 10 is where most of us will check in on this. That's the NAM model. Here's the European model coming up here, which before had painted some pretty hefty totals across the region. It's backed off that idea a little bit. It's not quite as excitable, but still it gives us a solid 5 to 10. Across the valley, with the heaviest amounts probably in eastern Lawrence, eastern Mercer County. And again, this is through 7 a.m. on Wednesday. So a solid 5 to 10 here on the European, a similar idea on the NAM model, the GFS model coming up here shortly. Again, pretty similar idea overall with a solid 5 to 10. I think some of the purples and pinks start showing up more and more as you head into Pennsylvania. So I think if anybody gets a foot out of this, it's most likely to be over towards the I-79 corridor in Pennsylvania. Could someone get a foot in Mahoning, Trumbull, Columbiana? Yeah, that's possible, but it's more likely off to the east, with those areas being a little bit closer to the center of deepest moisture overall. Here's our short-range ensemble forecast models. These lines represent the average of the last 4 runs of this particular model. The most recent run is the green line here. And so the trend has been up a little bit on this, definitely. But it does give through daybreak on Wednesday 7.83 inches to the Mahoning, or the Youngstown Warren Airport in southeastern Trumbull County. So 7.83 is its forecast through daybreak on Wednesday, with a little additional accumulation after that, maybe a couple of inches during the course of Wednesday due to lake effect. Whether that's going to be right or not, I'm not real confident about. I am confident in its forecast through daybreak Wednesday of that 7.83, which fits nicely into our 5 to 10 idea across the Mahoning Valley. Well, that's a quick Tuesday morning update. I'll be on 21 News midday today at noon. I'm also in at 6 and 11 today. It's going to be a very long day, but we've got you covered on TV, on social media as well, and I'll keep you updated throughout the day. So I'll see you on the TV side, and thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.